Five Rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. You already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
You already know what time it is, man. Hey, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, man. We are back, man, for another edition of the 50-50 Show, man. So make sure to clock in. We're going live on both our channels, so if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and, hit that like button, man. Got to give you all that friendly reminder. Man, we appreciate everybody coming through, man. We got a great show lined up, great conversation lined up for y'all. We're going to have a good conversation today. Man, shout out to Sacktown Raider in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. We got Carlos Enfuego, man. He says 916 in the house. Raiders draft QB in trenches, man. I agree. 100%. That's I'm more, hey, if we don't get we'll save it, but like I feel like if we don't get a QB, I'm all for going for the trenches, man. Like we just seen the Philadelphia Eagles handle their business against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and a lot of that had to do with them dominating in the trenches. So that defensive line, obviously, their O-line, we'll get into that. It's going to be a whole offseason to break down what the Raiders need and what they need to get. But Billy Davis in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. My guy, man. We got Mark in the building. What's going on, man? Hey, man. We're gonna have a great show lined up. Yeah. Hey, Mark, man. He wants to remind y'all, clock in and subscribe, man. Oh, man, we got Myra in the building, man. We know we got to give her anthem. She in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. We got Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna say Raider.
Rorschach.
I mean, you know what? I'm just gonna say Raider 24.
We'll leave it alone.
I'm gonna leave it alone right now, man. I got a whole lot going on right now. But he just wanted to say, hey, sack down, salute, sack down. Appreciate you coming through, man. Kevin Lurker in the building, man. Hey, he just simply stops by and just, gives his friendly salute. Appreciate you coming through. Donald says, you think Dre Greenlaw is an option? Hey, I wouldn't be mad at it. Greenlaw I believe he is a free agent. And look, the Raiders look like a team right now that's going to be aggressive this offseason. And it's going to start with free agency. The draft, what that can look like in a draft, possibly trading up. I think it's not even just going to be free agency. I think they're going to trade for certain people that they want, whether that's quarterback, whether it's another player at a different position. We'll see. We'll find out. But Dre, I wouldn't be mad at Dre Greenlaw coming in. That would actually be an upgrade to what we have, if you think about it. But I don't know if anybody wants to lose maybe a guy like, Spillane, who is a free agent. And if you're gonna pay Dre Greenlaw a linebacker, then that means Spillane's days are numbered. I don't think he's gonna be coming back. Louis Garcia, you think they're gonna pair him with a Spillane, or do you think that how's that gonna look like?
They could, but Dre Greenlaw's ligaments are made out of Ritz crackers. Like this one, like I'm not signing this fool for anything. Like unless he coming over here for the league minimum, bro, I'm not paying this dude. Like he came back from a long injury, and in his first game he got hurt. That's the game old boy walked out on. Like because he came back from a long injury, and then they started him in the game, and he got hurt the very first game. But I'm not about to pay. You can't trust this dude. You can't trust him to stay healthy.
Hey, Louis, now you know what you're doing, man. You're troll. You're top notch troll for sure, man. But we not gonna post that up here. The numbers in the building, man. J Raider Nation in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. Man, I can't make it. I wish I could make it to Vegas, man, but I can't make it this weekend. But for sure in the future, we're gonna make something happen, especially with this offseason. And hopefully, with things lining up this offseason, man, hopefully I'll make it out there, but not this weekend, Myra. It's gonna be dope, man. I'm gonna hopefully link up in the future. 831 Raider says salute y'all. Appreciate you coming through, man. Steve says last year we were aggressive and Simon Minshew did.
Steve got jokes.
Man, but that's Telesco's version of being aggressive. Yeah. And we all know Telesco's not aggressive.
Exactly.
He's
Telesco's version of being aggressive is like getting his vanilla ice cream on a waffle cone. Like, okay, I got a waffle cone with mine. Like, so man, not aggressive at all.
Easy, man. Hey, I was waiting until you came through. He says Dre Greenlaw. He says way too injury prone now. No way. Hey, they do got a safety too. It's a former Niner linebacker, and they got another safety. I like him too. He's gonna be free agent, but he's injury prone too. So depending on what they give him, I think Hufanga. I think that's who he is.
Hufanga is a dog. They got a corner. They got a corner. Their corner is cold, and the corner said he don't want to go back. Like basically, because he had some stuff where he had a child pass away, with the team while he was with the forget his name. So he's like, man, every time he go to California, he's like, it just feels funny. Like he don't like being. He said he don't want to be in the state. So I'm like, he probably leaving. So it's like, hey,
yeah, I think with like the injury prone players, it just really depends on the contract that you give them. Like it gotta be like incentivized. Either you give them like something a cheap contract, or it has to be a lot of incentives. Like they gotta be healthy for like the full season for him to get that full amount. You know what I mean, for that contract.
Not facts. Fact.
But yeah, man, hey man, let's not waste any time, man. Appreciate everybody coming. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Let's get into it, man. Hey, shout out to, let's start the show. Hey, Eric Allen is a Hall of Famer, former Raider cornerback. He was only with the Raiders for like a couple of seasons though, like, you know what I mean. But once a Raider, always a Raider, I guess. But and I know he's with Raiders media, but hey, big time. He was all time corner for all time DB for the Eagles, I believe, for the majority of his career. So that's big. What was the full class, Hall of Fame class? Let's see. Man.
I don't know. Somebody didn't get in. Who didn't get in? Somebody that, but he made it on like the legacy side. So that's like a different side. You know, like those players go through a different process, but he made it on that side of things.
So Eric,
I think that's
Allen,
I think that's how Ray got ended up getting into. Yeah.
Was it okay? Okay, so hold on. Let me see. Okay, we got Eric Allen. Obviously made it. Jared Allen was a beast.
Jared Allen, he was cold. He was cold.
He was a monster.
He was cold with the Vikings. He was cold.
Right. Antonio Gates makes it in. And then Sterling Sharp. And Sterling Sharp makes it in.
Sterling Sharp deserved it too, bro.
Yeah.
Sterling Sharp hella deserved it.
I think everybody's seen it, but then obviously his injury kind of like messed him up a little bit.
Yeah. But that's the only reason. That's the only thing that was keeping him out. But because in terms of talent, like he was that dude. He was that dude.
I'm trying to look at what was the original. Who didn't make it in? That was. All right.
Was it Urlacher? Somebody didn't. Nah, he made it. It's somebody else.
All right. So here it is. So Eric Allen, obviously, he was part of the finalists. Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Jari Evans was guard for the Saints. Luke Kuechly, Torrey Holt, Eli Manning, Steve Smith Sr., Terrell Suggs, Fred Taylor, Adam Vinatieri, Reggie Wayne, Darren Woodson, and Marshall Yanda.
Okay, so Eli Manning was up too. He didn't make it. Eli Manning didn't make it, which some people have mixed.
Yeah, because he wasn't like he wasn't top five. He wasn't top five.
Adam Vinatieri didn't make it. Luke Kuechly was the biggest snub though. Luke Kuechly should have been in there.
Cool. I'm trying to see. Look,
T Sizzle too. Yeah, like you said, T Sizzle. Steve Smith Sr. should be in Hall of Fame, bro. Steve Smith Sr. should be in Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's a great player. Torrey Holt. I don't understand. Torrey Holt was a monster.
Torrey Holt should be in there. Yeah, Torrey Holt was cold.
Lee Anderson. Let me see. Antonio Gates. But you know, for the most part, everybody that got in like deserved to get in. But it was kind of It's a random combination. They didn't even put like, why is Torrey Holt being bypassed? Like I don't want to get that. Like,
I mean, it took Tim Brown forever to get in there though. So I mean,
like that's a weird like.
Yeah, but yeah, I understand Torrey Holt being by, because is Torrey Holt a first ballot Hall of Famer? I could see how they do that. Like, bro, you gonna get in eventually, but you're not getting in on the first ballot.
He was a monster. He had like what, 9 seasons with the Rams.
Steve Smith, in my opinion, deserves it over Torrey Holt.
You think his prime was longer?
I just think if you ask me who I'd rather have on my team, Steve Smith or Torrey Holt, I'm just taking Steve Smith.
just because Steve Smith's a bully. That's what it is. Steve Smith's just a bully.
He was just cold though, bro. He could do everything. He's
a bully. All right. Well, I mean, hey, look, it's it's always tough when like they break it down to like 9 finalists and then eventually only 4 or 5 get in. So it's like, all right, it's kind of tough, but yeah, man. So yeah, Eric Allen, man, shout out to him. He made the Hall of Fame. That being said, let's get into Champ Kelly. Yeah. That was probably one of the most random news of the weekend was Champ Kelly is not back with the Raiders. It felt like he was going to come back. They said he was under contract, but all of a sudden we hear that he's interviewing for the Jacksonville Jaguars general manager spot, which there's nothing wrong with that. But he wasn't picked as a finalist for that spot. Yeah. And then all we hear is that, he's not coming back.
Exactly.
So maybe it might be like a strategic move for him. Like he feels like maybe he has to go somewhere else, maybe. So then he'll have a better shot of winning, getting a GM spot. But right now, man, I was kind of surprised, man. I was kind of hoping that he would come back, but that's all there wasn't any reason though. I don't know did you hear any reports about why he is not being brought back to the front office? Maybe it's a spy tech situation where they're really not on the same page.
Yeah, I just think they moved on from him. I think Champ Kelly, and it was like it's one of those situations where like it's not apples to apples comparison, but like if like how lions fight, like the young lion and they'll a new lion will take over the pride, and one of the things they do is that they'll kill all the cubs that belong to the previous lion. Cause it's like, bro, like it's all this gonna be my bloodline. I'm not having none of your, so it's not gonna be like none of your influence, and that's what it feels like. Like spy tech is like, look,
man,
I'm killing off all these cubs that was under this former lion, under this former alpha. Nah, I'm the alpha now. Like it's, oh boy, I'm the captain now. Like, right. So he's bringing in his own people. So I think they couched it as, hey, you know what, the Raiders and Champ Kelly decided to part ways mutually, but I'm pretty sure he was let go. He was given his walking papers, and they're doing that to save face.
Yeah, that's true. But that's a crazy comparison. I mean, comparing it to the lion killing the cubs from the last pride. Oh man, but yeah, he's not coming back. I think that's a big blow. I mean, I think we probably can look back and say that Champ Kelly was responsible for certain like in-season moves. I mean, maybe the Chase-Yons. For sure, you could say that he was part of bringing Jack Jones, him and AP. Yeah. Kind of him collaborating with AP to bring Jack Jones on. We'll see. Do you think Jack Jones' days are numbered?
Oh yeah, his days numbered. I already heard some report. I think I heard some reports or something like that. Yeah, that they don't feel he's a mess with the coach or something like that. I forgot where I heard that from. But yeah,
if that's the case, then that makes the number one like priority is probably, I mean, outside of quarterback. Is to get another corner. We kind of feel like we need to get another corner in there. We got to get some depth. Obviously, we don't feel like we have a number one guy in there. Maybe Jacorian Bennett could develop into that, but it's kind of risky, especially for the new regime to come in and think that that's going to be the guy. I'm sure they're going to be like, you know what, let's address that position, and we're picking number 6, and there's a guy, that can possibly be there out of Michigan. We could possibly pick up Will Johnson, so that could be an option, but. I you know what? I want to see Jack Jones stay with the Raiders. I don't want him to leave. I don't want the Raiders. I know this wasn't as big a year that we expected out of him. We thought we were gonna have a big year, but then I like Jack Jones better with a defensive line, especially with his ball hawk abilities. You know what I mean? Him kind of. You know what I'm saying? That so if we can upgrade the defensive line and you add a Jack Jones into that mix, then you start seeing the full potential of a Jack Jones.
Exactly.
So we'll see how that shakes out. I remember man, Jerry Allen was a monster, man. I hated him. He played with he was with the Vikings, but he was with the Chiefs for all them years too.
Yeah, for a little. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was with the Chiefs.
I remember him more with the Vikings, but
for sure. But hey, man. he was a monster coming out off the edge, but so he's well deserving to making the Hall of Fame. He's definitely a Hall of Fame player. We got people pulling up left and right. Lester Hayes needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Facts. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's some Raider players, man, that's not in the Hall of Fame. Man, we that's a whole different conversation. Let me see. The chat is going crazy. Trap guy said, "Do you think there will be really a run on running backs at the end of the first round?"
No.
That's hard to predict though. But usually when you see one player at a position, especially when it's that first player, usually that's when the teams start attacking that position. But it's so deep, like at running back. Like I think it depends on where does Genty go. Where does Genty go? And then you start thinking about, all right, what's the second running back? I think it starts with the second running back. Once you start getting Hampton, then maybe you can see a team like, all right, we got to get Trayvon Henderson or, another back. Yeah. So it just really depends. Let's see. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't see a run on running backs at the end of the day. That would be like, you're looking at like at least 3 or 4. You got to say like for it to be considered like a run.
Yeah.
We might get 2 in the first round, right? I bet the over under on first round running backs is probably 1.5. If for betting odds, if you were like doing a prop bet, it's probably like 1.5. And that's like, for Genty for sure going first round. And that's like,
Hampton.
Okay, do you think Hampton is going to go in the first round or not? I think he's going to be the next guy taken. If I was drafting, that would be the second back drafted in his class. I mean, depending on how you feel, maybe the first. You look at, just tread on the tires and, you think how, his durability in the league. You may think he'd be a little bit more durable than Genty is. So, I can see a team saying, hey, you know what? We prefer this bigger body guy over Genty. So I think those are the 2 guys. But for sure, one's going in the first round is Omarion Hampton going to be the other one.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I agree, man. Hampton, man, he's a monster. He's a monster coming out of North Carolina. So hopefully that's a guy that I ain't gonna lie. Secretly, I want the Raiders to get, but I'm not sure if he's gonna last in the second round. I hope that the Raiders don't take a running back in the first round. I don't want that to happen. I know a lot of people, seen some people say Genty, but I'm like, nah, I don't want to be that team because we got too many different needs and holes on a roster. Like I don't think the Raiders are in a position to take a luxury pick a running back in the first round. So I'm hoping at the earliest, I can see the best player being available in the second round being a running back. Just how good the position is. That's like the earliest. That's the earliest that I would say that the Raiders should even look at a running back. Yeah. And then there's other positions that no one's really talking about. There's safety. There's a good group of safeties in this draft. There's obviously the defensive line. Yeah, the defensive line, like those are higher. I would say defensive line for sure are higher priorities. I want to say I would say more valuable positions than running back. But then the running backs that are going to be available, though, man, I'm not going to lie, man. Especially with Chip Kelly at offensive coordinator.
Exactly.
And, man, most likely they're going to be running the football like crazy this year, especially with Pete Carroll saying that he wants to get back to, like, playing good defense and running the football, especially in the open pressure. Like, that's exactly what he wants to do. We've seen it. We've seen the USC teams. We've seen the Seattle Seahawks led by Marshawn Lynch and that crew. And then now he's coming to the Raiders, and you offensive coordinator is Chip Kelly, and what's his bread and butter? You know what I mean?
Running the football. So that's what Chip Kelly loves to do, bro. And we're going to do it in a plethora of ways. We're going to be creative in how we do it. It's going to be effective. We're going to use it to set up other stuff. It's like this offense is going to be, we're going to finally have fun watching an offense. Like, this is going to be the first time in a long time. We're going to be like, man, I just looking back at the tape, looking at the all-22, like, man, this is like some fun stuff to see. Like, and it's good that it's happening this year. Only thing we need to do is, we need to address that quarterback position. We got to address the quarterback position.
No, facts. Raider Alex says, did my boy Eli Manning dirty? I don't know, man. I know he won a couple of Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He played big. He played big in those playoff runs. But then he had some bad years too.
Yeah.
He had some bad years, and I don't know, man. Eli's one of those, like, he might just get in by default eventually just because his last name and
Eli got to get in just for beating Tom Brady, bro. Beat that man twice.
Yeah,
beat him twice.
Hey, and that was probably one of the best Super Bowls that I've watched too. That one, that was one of the best Super Bowls, and I think that was it that the Cardinals and Steelers? Was it Cardinals and Steelers?
Yeah, Cardinals. That was a good one too.
That was good, bro. That was good. But that Giants and Patriots was so good because I think everybody wanted the Patriots to lose, and then just that Tyree play alone, and I know everybody was going crazy when that play happened, and obviously they won. They won with that game-winning touchdown to your boy, man, one of your favorite receivers, Plaxico.
Yeah,
Burris,
Plaxico was a dog, man. Plaxico was a dog.
No, he was nice.
You know, and speaking of Raider connection, that's Antonio Pierce had to save him.
Man, that's crazy. Hey, Antonio was a real one, man. He helped him out in that situation.
Yeah.
But in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Hey, we'll get into a lot. Let's not waste any time, man. Actually, I want to actually get into, obviously free agency is coming up, but what happens every year, the Raiders do get like compensatory whatever picks, and I think this year the whole formula is kind of secret. I don't know why. Like no one really knows how they, like we don't know like really officially how they come up with the formula to get picks for these teams. But this year I think they're going to get a couple of 6th-round picks, and I believe Raiders scout, man, shout out to him, man. He was projecting certain players that we would get picks for if we were to lose them in free agency. Now let me go put this up on the screen. So we're gonna get a couple of 6th-round picks this year. It's not official, but just looking at over the cap, it says that the Raiders are most likely gonna get a couple of 6th-round picks. Hey, we'll take it. That's draft compensation. You could trade up, make some moves. The Raiders already have at least 8 picks. What, 8 to 10 picks?
8 at least, I want to say for sure, because we got the 2/3.
Right. So hold on. Let me put this on the board right here. Let's see. Hold up 1 second. You want to address the chat real quick?
Yes, sir. Let's see what we got going over here. Plaxico was a gunner on special teams. We got some Chicago Bears fans in here. Hey, good luck to you guys. Hopefully hopefully you're happy with Ben Johnson. Hopefully he's able to do something with y'all and turn Caleb Williams around. Eli Manning played at an elite level on those playoff runs, knocked off Favre and prime Rodgers on the road, beat SF on the road with the bad O-line play, and beat the GOAT twice in the Super Bowl. Yeah, bro. Hey, just like I said, just off of that, he was a gamer, man. He was a gamer. He had absolutely no fear. He was just steady. Even after the Super Bowl, after he beat Tom Brady, I don't remember if it was the first one or the second one. I remember Peyton ran on the field. Peyton was happier than he was. Peyton was more excited than him. So, man, Eli, now that his post-career, he's showing a lot more personality. But when his time playing, that dude was, he was just the same facial expression all the time.
Right. So, and here is actually this is Raiders scout tweeting out what it would look like if we lost Trayvon Moehrig in free agency, and we'll get a 4th round the following year. So would you say this would factor in the decision making and if bringing a guy back, knowing that hey, if you lose him the following year, you can get up to a 4th for Spillane, for example?
Yeah.
Would you use that? Would that be a reason why you don't bring a guy back? Obviously, because you don't want to pay him, and on top of that, like that you're gonna possibly get a pick from.
So if you want the player, then this shouldn't be a factor. Only time that you should look at this as a factor, and this is speculation. Like I said, nobody really knows the formula for sure, and it's like depending on where they sign and their impact on the team. There's a lot of things that go into it. How many free agents you lose, how many you sign as well. Like there's a lot of factors, but so that's why first of all you can't control for that. You can't control for their impact on another team. So if you have a guy that you want to bring back, you should do what you can and bring the person back. You shouldn't let comp picks get in the way.
Yeah, and this is all projection, by the way, too, because obviously we said earlier, we don't know how that formula really works. Like the NFL for some reason is super secret when it comes to how they come up with how teams are going to get certain picks. But you know what? I mean, if we lose Spillane, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but I think Spillane is replaceable. You know what I mean? And you can get a 4th round pick for him. I don't want to lose Kuntz. We can keep an Adam Butler. I don't know. Adam Butler a 5th? Ooh.
Adam Butler's a dog, man. I don't want to lose Adam Butler.
I understand, but would you say his value is a 5th though? You think we get a 5th if we lose him in free agency?
Yeah, maybe, but I think he's more valuable than a 5th round pick. Like
Nate Hobbs is a 6th. God,
like that's ridiculous. Like Nate Hobbs is way more valuable than a 6th round pick.
But you know what it is because he's hurt.
He's hurt, yeah, but yeah.
We know what his talent is, but it's just he's hurt. So it's also I'm sure they look at availability. Like if he's not there, he's not going to be contributing to the team.
That's what I'm saying, because Nate Hobbs is a 6, but Marcus Epps, who missed even more time, it's and is not as good of a player. He's a 6 too. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the formula was behind this.
Yeah. But hey, it's something to talk about, man. So and we're going into free agency. And there's a lot of talk of what the Raiders can possibly do and where they can. But a lot of it starts with re-signing their free agents, and hopefully they can bring back some of these guys. I mean, Trayvon definitely want to bring back, but Javon Highland is a free agent, and he's a guy that was drafted surprisingly ahead of Morig. I remember everybody thought that Morig was the number 1 safety on everybody's board. But these teams have their own big board, and they I think with Miami Dolphins they end up drafting. They drafted him before Morig, and then that's how Morig kind of dropped, and then the Raiders traded up and they got their guy. But if you had to choose, would you bring back a Morig, or would you go after a guy like Javon Holland?
I'm bringing. That's tough because I think Javon Holland is a better player. But
it's locker room factor.
Yeah, locker room factor, and then knowing the system, and I think that Merrick is just starting to get his comfortability in this system. I think he finally found his home and his niche in the system. So I think his play is going to start to ascend even more. So that's why it's do you want to bring in a new guy and have to have him conform to the system? I don't know.
Hey man, look, what's up with all the slander for Champ Kelly, man? Dixon says, "What did Champ Kelly do for us?" All I said, Champ Kelly was tired of holding Sandra Bird. Golly, man, y'all cold, man.
But what's crazy is that we just hired a guy that was assistant GM somewhere else, though. So it's
that's what I'm saying. And hey, and the thing is though, he's getting interviews to be at GM, and I know it's been a while, he didn't get any jobs, but hey, he's in the building, and I think he's been helping out with certain moves, certain guys. I think he's been helping out guys like Tom Telesco's and the APs and things like that. But hey, look, we'll see, man. We'll see what Spytek has to offer, but it's gonna be interesting, man, because I wanted Champ Kelly to stay. But it is what it is. Y'all clowning right now. The holding the purse, man, that's out of pocket. Trap guy says Spider wants to do
crazy.
his own thing. Seems like, yeah, facts. He wants to do his own thing. For free agency draft, but after those two things, then I can evaluate where we're going. Might have. Die Hard says probably some of the personnel decisions might have some. See, this is what we were just got done talking about. Do y'all think we extended Spillane? I don't know. There might be some better options out there, you know? But I like Spillane with the fit with this team. He's a good role player. Yeah. It just depends on what that contract is going to look like. If he wants, obviously, you know, if he wants to get paid, and I know the Raiders got money, doesn't mean that they should give him all that money. I think the Raiders could pass. They can, like, upgrade somewhere else. But, you know, he is a playmaker too, man. Like, he's not known as a guy that's good, like, great in coverage, even coming to the Raiders, but like, how many key interceptions has he had? How many key turnovers has he had? You know, he's a playmaker on that defense. And that's the one knock that I'll say, Morik, he's not really a ball hawk. You know what I mean? Like, at safety, you would like to have a guy at safety to be a ball hawk. But, you know, he's solid, though. He's solid.
Yeah. And they moved him to strong safety this year. You know, and he started playing him in the box more, and he put on a little bit more weight, be a little bit more physical, and I think that was a good role for him. So, you know, I think he's just coming into his own right now. But is Javon Holland a better player? Yeah, Javon Holland's a better player. I mean, in terms of Spillane, I think you did a round of shield. Shout out to Marcus Johnson and to Mike as well. But I think they were. I believe Marcus was talking about like Spillane is kind of replaceable too, if I recall correctly. So
that's
you know, and you know, I would point it out during the year. You know, it's like people have an affinity for Spillane, so it's a situation where they never wanted to call him out. You know, if he took the wrong gap, or he got, you know, bullied out of a play, or if he got cooked in coverage, or if he bit on a play action fake, nobody ever wanted to have any smoke for him. They had a lot of smoke for Diablo because Diablo is an easy target, but they would never have that same smoke for Spillane. So, you know, I just think that people they like him, so they don't hold him to the same standard as they do some other players.
I think it's because he can get exposed. Like at the end of the day, and if you're gonna pay him. It just, like I said, it just really depends on the contract. But I'm sure he's probably going to want to get paid than what he's done on his original contract. So, I don't know, man. Spytech, man, he's going to have a lot of decisions to make along with Pete Carroll. So Pete Carroll, and obviously Patrick Graham's going to have a say in there. But, you know, Pete Carroll's a defensive-minded coach, so he's going to want his guys in the building. So, we'll see how it shakes out.
I think we should keep him. I think we should keep him. If the money's right, we should keep him. I think he's a valuable member, not just what he does on the field, what he does off the field, but like I said, he's not. He's a replaceable piece.
Hey man, y'all are, man, the Jack Jones slander. Y'all said Jack isn't consistent, chooses when he wants to tackle. Hey, there wasn't. Yeah, he was a guy early on in the season where, you know, AP, it seemed like AP was talking to him and maybe a couple other people, but obviously we kind of figured out that Jack Jones was who he was talking about, making business decisions at the end of the game of a blowout game. I think was it the Panthers game? It was after Panthers game.
I think it was the Panthers game. Yeah, it was the Panthers game.
Yeah, where it looked like he didn't want to tackle. And it was some other games too as well. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see, man. It's going to be tough because, like, are the Raiders in a position to let go corner? Like, we need as much talent in that room as possible. So,
that's what I'm saying.
Especially, I don't know if they should let him go now, like at least go into training camp, and then if they feel like there's a better option somewhere else, then okay. But it'd be foolish to just let go Jack Jones because still on his rookie deal?
He's on his rookie deal, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't.
So
corners get paid too. It's like I don't know if I want to go ahead and lose that cheap contract for the Raiders.
Yeah, so if you're cutting him, it's strictly for cap saving. So it's like, for the money he's making, are you going to be able to find a better player than him? That's kind of the decision. That's kind of like the give and take of it. Like, you know what, we'll save this money, but it's an opportunity cost. Okay, what will we realistically do with the money that we're saving? And that's how I don't think people don't oftentimes factor that in, right? Like people look at cost and how much something costs them, and they don't look at opportunity cost. Like, hey, if this costs $500, okay, well, if I had that extra $500 and I didn't spend it on this, like, what would I do with that $500? If it's not adding more value than what this item over here is, then keep this item. So if I cut Jack Jones and I save $2 million, if I can't add a piece to my team that's worth that $2 million, that's more valuable than what Jack Jones is, and like, you just keep Jack Jones. Like, that's just
Right.
that's so
Ernest has a plan. Let's see if his plan is on point. He says move back from 6 to Dallas's I guess 11 plus a 44. I guess the second round pick. Grab Johnson at corner, Will Johnson. Then at 37 take Starks, I think from Georgia, safety from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Good safety. And then at 44 take Hampton, and then a third round pick Milroe. And then with the third pick take,
I was with him. I was with him today.
The third pick.
You had me too. You had me too. You said pick Milroe, bro.
Well, and the problem with that last part, not the Milroe part. Okay, I wouldn't be mad at that. I mean, Milroe in the third round. I mean, like, that's right now. That's where I think his value is right now, just his stock. But I think the Higgins part right there, I don't think that's possible because I think that everybody's saying that he's going to get franchised. And if he's going to get franchised, then in order for you to, T. Higgins is going to get franchised.
Because Burrow wants him back and Chase wants him back too.
Right. So if he's going to get franchised, that means in order to get him in a trade, you're going to have to trade your first round pick, which hell to the nah. You know what I mean?
Hell no.
But T. Higgins, man, hey, man, we could dream a little bit, you know what I mean? But it ended pretty quickly when we found out that he was going to get franchised. But I ain't mad at taking Will Johnson. Look, I'm not going to lie, man. If we don't get quarterback, pick number 6 there, who are you picking? Oh, I already asked you this. You're picking T-Mac.
Yeah.
You're picking T-Mac.
Well, it's Will Johnson or T-Mac. I wouldn't mind Mason Graham either. But my top two guys, my top two guys for sure are Will Johnson and Tedero.
Bruh, hey man, if Mason Graham's on the board, man, make a strength even stronger. Make that D-line elite. And it's gonna make that entire defense even better. But I get the Will Johnson, but it's just, man, Mason Graham look like he's a can't miss dude. But
I think Will Johnson's special. I think Will Johnson.
He's a perfect fit too. He's a perfect fit for the defense.
Yeah,
he's a perfect fit. But hey man, let's move it along real quick. Running back so deep in this draft, we better not take a running back at 6. Yeah, facts. Facts, 100%. 100%. A lot of early miles. Yeah, that's the one thing about Genty is the fact that he had like almost 400 carries last year.
Yeah, there's ain't a lot of tread left in those tires, man.
Man, how many years is he gonna play at a starting caliber? We've seen it all the time, man. When running backs come in, they carry the football. I mean, there's probably some exceptions to the rule, but I don't know. That's gonna be a crazy risk to take if you're gonna take him early. Let's see, man. Class dressed down. Yeah, no facts. Hey, man, Yaya wants to remind y'all, hit them likes, man. Clock in, man. Support the channel, man. It's free, man. The channels, plural, man. So we're going live on both our channels, man. So make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. But yeah, man, let's move it along, man. We'll have plenty to talk about free agency. Let's get into, hey, man, it's that time, man.
Yes, sir.
It's that time, man. It's flag on the play.
Personal foul.
69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Hey, man, lead the way, Severe, man. What's the first flag of the play this week, man?
You know what? I think we're gonna visit some of our friends on the East Coast. I think two people we're very familiar with. One was actually with us briefly, and but the main guy is one Aaron Rodgers. Now we all know how Aaron Rodgers, he had a bit of a down year last year, and the Jets are bringing in an entire new regime, new head coach, new everything.
Yep.
And it was unclear whether or not Aaron Rodgers was going to stay. And apparently in a team meeting, Mr. Aaron Rodgers emasculated himself and pleaded with the Jets to stay. Was begging to not be let go. Baby, please. I'll do better. And apparently the Jets rebuffed his advances and let him know that, they were moving. They were doing like Maya, and they would be moving on. So, apparently, and the news came out. I think everybody is now known that the Jets are going to move him from Aaron Rodgers. So, even after his begging and pleading to stay with the team, the Jets still rebuffed his offer, and I think that is just for him begging like that. It's a flag on the play, and a little extra flag for Devontae running over there to play with Aaron Rodgers, and now he's gone too. So apparently, if you're a quarterback and Devontae comes to play for you, look to be cut within 2 years.
Hey, man. Hey, what's crazy? I thought this was fake because when I seen Aaron Rodgers pleading with the New York Jets to keep him, I'm like, why would Aaron? It feels like Aaron Rodgers would want to get away from the Jets, like, but according to the New York Post, Rodgers aggressively urged New York to keep him for 1 or 2 more years, but once a decision was made, Rodgers reportedly accepted it and slipped into the darkness for a few days.
He went to do ayahuasca again. He went to do ayahuasca again. That's how hard it hit him.
Maybe it's because he probably didn't want to have that on his resume that he was gonna be released or cut. I don't know. I mean, it would make sense for him to part ways with the Jets. Like, it just didn't work out. They have a new regime coming in, so many different head coaches. Like, it would make sense for him to go somewhere else. But I guess maybe the fact that he's actually being released, maybe that's the reason why he was like, I don't want that on my resume. I want to make this work. Yeah. He's a competitor. So, but man, it's crazy. They're all reporting this, all the news media outlets. So, I mean, you can see this on CBS Sports as well. Like, they're all like basically making this really a real thing. And he really tried to make his case to stay with the Jets. So flag on the play with Aaron Rodgers. And every time I think of Aaron Rodgers, I just think of that moment where he was on, was it
Pat McAfee? The
Pat McAfee show, and then all of a sudden we see, Devontae Adams just pop out in the back. You know what I mean? Like, man, like some big announcement they were trying to make, and it's like, man.
No,
it's crazy because like how like it was
like no. Know what that remind me of? Know what that made me think of?
What?
Dudes be doing dirt. Dudes be doing dirt, right? If you got a girl, you got a wife, whatever, you doing dirt. And you out. Let's say y'all with a chick, and then your girl call you or she FaceTime you, and then like the side piece trying to get in the back and get in the picture. That's what Devontae over there looking like somebody's side piece, begging for attention. It was wild. It was a nasty look for both of them.
But hey, man, that's not the only flag that we got, man. That's not the only flag. This weekend was All-Star Weekend out here in the Bay Area, and it was out here in the Bay, and I didn't really pay attention too much. I did see like some highlights of the dunk contest and stuff like that, but it's just not the same. I don't know. And they changed the whole format of the All-Star game, and it just and a lot of it has to do, I guess, because the players aren't playing hard. Like, they're literally like not caring at all and obviously
wild.
the NBA is a business. They don't want the product to look bad. That's the NBA is a business, right? So they don't want it to look bad. So they're trying to figure out ways to make it competitive. And I think what they had was the rising stars go against the All-Stars. Something to that effect. I don't know it. But anyways, the flag, it wasn't that format, even though we could talk about that. It was LeBron James. Yes. LeBron James last minute said he could basically announced that he couldn't play. With him doing it at last minute, he pretty much took a spot, an all-star spot, and there was a lot of deserving players that could have just took his spot. Usually when a player is hurt and they can't make it, someone else would, replace him. But LeBron, being LeBron James, he goes ahead and just announced it last minute. And then, let me go ahead and just show this video of him like taking like the team pictures. It's crazy, man. Him just showing up. It's just like, oh my God. The thing is, I do feel like LeBron sometimes get a lot of hate for some reason. I don't know why. But this is something that like you could easily this is definitely a flag on the play, man. Yeah. Definitely flag on the play. So here goes LeBron. You'll see him in a second right there. He's in the middle in street clothes. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what did you say?
Why are you even in the picture, bro?
Yeah, it just looks weird. It's like, what are you trying to do? Like, you had to be a part of the All-Star just because it's just weird, man.
Yeah,
like that's him not wearing.
It's a crazy ass All-Star. That's a crazy ass All-Star team. You look at like you got Kyrie, James Harden, KD, Steph, LeBron.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
No, for sure. It just looks weird that he's there in street clothes. He could at least put on a jersey or something like that just to, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know what this means. Is this LeBron just flexing? Is this a message to the league? I don't know what this means, but I just feel like it was a little selfish. I mean, he could at least, give him enough time to replace him. But, obviously LeBron wants, it just seemed like LeBron wanted some attention. But, that's just me. But definitely a flag on the play.
Know what that looked like? It looked like the kid, like they was all taking pictures, everybody wearing a jersey, and dudes trying to coordinate the photo. I was like, you know what? Something don't look right. So LeBron, hold this basketball. He's like, much better. You take this picture now.
Man,
it's crazy.
That's wild, man. But yeah, that's definitely flag on a play that from the All-Star weekend. But it is what it is. That pretty much wraps it up. Let's see what the chat is talking about. Who's going to be? Let's see, man. The chat's going. Yeah, LBJ is lame for that. Come on, man. I'm a LeBron fan. You know what I mean. I grew up a Kobe fan, but I like he's a great player, but he takes a lot of flack for some reason. For whatever reason, but this one I can't. That was bad. Fidel says LeBron is 22-33 in finals games. That's hold on. Is that a real? Is that a? That's not real. That's not real. 22-33.
Talking about he's won 22 finals games and lost 33. Played 33 finals games, like that's a flex. Like you can try to say to have played 33 finals games, that's a flex. That's a flex.
Wild, man. Now I know he's been to the finals a lot, but like, let me look that up. Let me look that up before we gotta. Let me see LeBron's record.
It sounds about right.
LeBron James.
He has 5 rings, so he had to play at least. That's 20 games.
That's a lot of games, bro. Let me see.
That's it.
So LeBron has 10 trips to the finals. 10 trips.
Yeah. So at least. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, 10?
10 trips. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So 4. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna eventually add up to like.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I don't feel like I know this shit. But yeah, it's a lot of games. I'm not sure if that was the final record, but let's see. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. He's 22-33 NBA Finals. Man, shout out to Fidel, man. That's wild.
Crazy, man. To even go to the finals that many times though. Like that's crazy. That's insane.
LeBron's so disappointing. What could have been with that guy? What you mean? He lived up to the hype. In my book,
right? He's the second greatest player of all time. like it's like so disappointed. He's the second best player to ever play the game. In most people's opinions, right? He's the second best player of all time. Some people have him as first. Some people have him lower. He's top 5 in everybody's list, for sure. Right. So, if that's disappointment, man, I'm looking for some. I hope we draft a player that's extremely disappointing.
Yeah. Man, shout out to my guy Raider Smoke, man. Hey, man, he says shout out to my guys. Hey, let me get the little salute. He says shout out to my guys, like and subscribe 50-50. Yeah, facts 100%. He said when your girlfriend be asking why Pizza Hut calling it.
Exactly.
Got jokes, man. Smoke got jokes. Man, but let's get back to Brunny. He's lying, right? Am I right, Alex? Man, he's lying for no reason. That's just weird. Why would he do that? I mean, but we'll never know. I think it might be a message to somebody in the league, man. So maybe to Adam Silver or something. I don't know. But let's see. It doesn't sound like a goat. Fidel says doesn't sound like a goat to me.
But people see if you look at how many first round losses Jordan has, like Jordan couldn't win a championship without Scottie Pippen or without Phil Jackson. Like you can skew things any way you want to make somebody look bad.
Right.
People forget Jordan came back and got beat up in the finals, or in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Magic, right? Like Scottie Pippen the year before took that same Bulls team to the Eastern Conference Finals as well. So it's like you can spin stuff any way you want to make somebody else look better, make somebody else look worse. Like if you look at total playoff losses, Jordan has as many playoff losses as LeBron. Is that when he got to the finals, he was usually the favorite. Like there was only one finals Jordan was in where he wasn't the favorite, and that was when they played the Utah Jazz that they had just beat the year before. That's the only time the Bulls weren't the favorite. So LeBron has only lost one finals where he was the favorite, and that was his first year with the Heat. Other than that, every other finals he's been the underdog, except the one with the Lakers. I want to say.
The crazy thing is with LeBron, he's never really played in a system. Like
he is the system.
Yeah, but that's what's crazy. Like I wonder. Man, it's crazy to think about that. Like he's never played. Like Kobe and Jordan, they had the triangle, so like they can get points. They can get points. Obviously, they can go, 1-on-1 and and win that way. But then eventually, like there might be points in a game where they can get points within the offense. But LeBron, he didn't have the triangle or he didn't have the system. Maybe you could knock him for that. Maybe can LeBron play within the system? He can only play his way. Maybe there's a knock. Yeah. But then the other side to it is like, damn, he went to this many finals. He went this far in the playoffs, and he just did it his way. Just give LeBron the ball and let him do it. It's crazy. But that's a whole different conversation, man. But, we had to get flag on the play on LeBron James. But y'all over here, LeBron is the king of participation trophies. Damn.
Like what part is like I said people have it like it'd be these Jordan defenders that'd be like these wild ass takes because they feel threatened by LeBron. That's essentially what.
Oh man, hey, they're gonna start this conversation. Dixon's like MJ number 1, Kobe number 2. Man.
See, but but see people will have double standards for Kobe that they'll give Kobe passes for stuff that they won't give LeBron pass for. This was just crazy. Like, Kobe losing a 3-1, playoff series, Kobe losing in the finals, multiple times, losing badly to a Detroit Pistons team when they had a super team.
What 3-1 playoff series you talking about?
The Phoenix Suns.
Man, but they weren't favorite though. They were like the worst. They were the 8th seed. They were the 8th seed going against the number 1 seed.
Bro, you up 3-1. You up 3-1. That's the,
and I don't think LeBron. And that team, that Laker team,
bad team.
It wasn't just a bad. It was trash. It was trash.
But my point is that LeBron, the finals he's lost, except for one. He's only lost one finals where he was the favorite. Every other finals he's lost, he was not the favorite. And then Kobe lost the final sit that he was heavily favored in when the Lakers played the Detroit Pistons. So that's what I'm saying. People don't have, like, Kobe's probably one of my favorite players of all time, but people don't have the same standards for them. They for sure don't have the same standards for Jordan, because Jordan never won outside of the triangle, never won without Scottie. Scottie took that same team, to the Eastern Conference Finals. Jordan still has that lost in the playoffs to the Magic. Like they discount all of that. They don't look at how Jordan couldn't get past the Celtics, or he couldn't get past the bad boy Pistons until that team got old. Like they ignore all of that when they talk about Jordan, because Jordan was undefeated in the finals. They don't look at how many first round exits he has or how many times he lost in the playoffs. Like they only look at his finals record. Oh, he's 6-0 though. He's 6-0, but he was favored in every single one of those series. And the one he wasn't favored in was the team that they had just beat the year before. Like so. Like they just beat that. It was the second time they beat the Jazz.
You talking about when they were in the finals, but then
in the finals, yeah. So they were the favorite in every single finals they were in. The one they weren't the favorite in was the second time they beat the Jazz, but they had just beat the Jazz the year before.
But when he was going against, who did he have when he was going against the Pistons? You know what I mean? Who did he have going against the Pistons? The Pistons were. I want to say
that's
dynasty, but they were back to back. You know what I'm saying? They had squad. I think it's all about timing.
Exactly.
It's all about context. I get it. I get what you're saying, but
so he was not favored in those series, right? So we don't hold that against him. Just like
right.
LeBron wasn't favored in any of these.
I think a lot of it has to do with it because it's the social media era, like. Yeah. Everybody knows every little stat. Everybody knows every little thing. They're watching every little move. Jordan didn't have that, so to speak. Like he didn't have the social media area. Like everything was like, oh man, like people are still amazed by like Jordan and what he did. So they never seen the mistakes. Like they didn't see like all the bad parts. Everybody just remembers all the good things. And I think that's what's gonna happen with LeBron eventually. I think when LeBron retires, like people are gonna be like, oh shit, like we'll never see a LeBron again. Like that's
never gonna see another Kobe, never gonna see another LeBron, never gonna see another. Like these guys are legendary. But for some I don't know. For some reason, people have smoke for LeBron. All that dude has done. Like Jordan at 40 years old got cooked for 50 points by Kobe. He got beat so bad that they had to take him out the game. LeBron at 40 years old is a top 15 player still. So it's like, but when Kobe cooked Jordan, they was like, oh, LeBron, Jordan was old. He was old. Yeah. But LeBron is 40 years old right now. Averaging 28 and 6, something like that, like 24, 8 and 6, something crazy like that. So like I said, people have done double standards because they hold Jordan in this rarefied air, partly because Jordan was, he was propped up by the league. So. Because he was the most marketable player at the time. So the same way we feel about Patrick Mahomes is the same way I feel about Jordan. He was propped up by the league. But people have smoke for Patrick Mahomes. They don't have that same smoke for Jordan. But
you say that all to say, and who's the greatest player of all time?
In my opinion, the greatest player, I don't have either one of them as the greatest player of all time. I think the greatest, if you look at just individual talent, individual ability, I think Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest player of all time. But if you look at greatest career, it's probably Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If you look at combination of both ability and career, then it's Jordan.
See, that's why I disagree with you. Not because that's your opinion. It's more so like the way I come up with my greatest player is more like the players that you actually seen play. And you see the impact of the game, and you see their game, and how, like, you seen it. And I know that's very, like, that could be one-sided because you're not going to look at the whole picture with some of the other guys. But I just look at like, hey, at the end of the day, Will Chamberlain was great in his era. You know, the Larry Birds was great. The Magic Johnson was great in their era. And then, because it's hard to say that a guy like in what like 60s, 70s, you know what I mean? Like,
70s, yeah.
Like what? Like were you watching him play? Like it's just like, oh my God, what was the talent that he was going against? I think that players nowadays are more athletic, they're faster, stronger.
There's so many things
so much better. It's more skillful.
But look at that. All those same arguments you just said about Wilt in the 60s and the 70s are the same arguments you can say about LeBron and today. The athletes are better, teams are deeper, the defenses are different because now there's illegal defense. There's no illegal defense rather. So now teams can run zone defenses. Like the level of athleticism is way better. These kids are playing basketball at a way younger age. So part of the reason why Jordan was so dominant is because Jordan was the best athlete at the time, right? He was a better athlete than everybody he was going against. So people will hold that same. They will look at Wilt Chamberlain and say, "Oh, you were going against guys you were way better athletes than." But the same standard for Jordan. He was going against guys he was way better athletes than. And like Jordan right now, and if he comes to the league now, he's still a top athlete. But there are several other athletes that are at his level, or damn near at his level. It's different. It's different. So, and ironically, how people feel about how basketball right now is so soft. The guys that were, if you listen to the players that were in the 70s and the early 80s, they felt the basketball in the mid 80s and early 90s. They felt that basketball was soft compared to the game they played in. So that same argument that people make about basketball now is the same argument they made about basketball then. So it's all cyclical.
Yeah, I know you could use it to your advantage and say, but if you think about it though, the defense nowadays, what defense are they playing? You know what I mean? They're not as physical. I feel like the type of defense that you could say like Jordan went, and I'm not saying LeBron couldn't play in that era. I'm just saying like I think
LeBron
part of his
LeBron would dominate that, right? LeBron would dominate that.
I'm just saying part of LeBron's longevity is not just because he's healthy and his talent. You could say that too, but it's also because the rules make it so easy for a player of his talent or even any talented player in the past to play well into their 40s. Like I don't know, man. But I don't want to take away anything from LeBron because this dude is doing things that we ain't never seen. But I think it helps that the defense nowadays, they don't even play no defense. What do you like? They're not hand checking. They're not like guarding these players the way that they guard
like
back.
But the thing is that would help LeBron. People forget that zone defenses is what hurts LeBron. You want to play physical with LeBron? LeBron's a 6'8", 6'9" point guard. That's only going to help him.
But by the way, why did they bring back zone defenses?
No, zone defenses were illegal until 2001, 2002.
Because of Shaq.
They were illegal. It was never. Yeah, it was never.
It's because of Shaq.
It was never. They were never allowed. They weren't allowed till 2001, 2002. Yeah.
It was because of Shaq. Shaq, no one could guard Shaq one-on-one. And they had to figure out a way. And part of that was bringing back zone defense and then hack Shaq, and that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, man. Hey, no, I get it, man. People got narratives. I think social media and everything, the way they kind of like overanalyze certain things, they don't do that to the same players that we grew up on. Exactly. And like the Jordans and stuff like that. They didn't grow, because if Jordan was in this era, then we would see all the mistakes. We would see all the,
exactly
every little thing that you can overanalyze and be like, oh, well, hey, Jordan's doing this and da. Look, at the end of the day, I think LeBron's going to be appreciated after he retires. Straight up. Yeah. That's what's going to happen, because who's going to be the next guy up in the NBA? Actually, who's going to be the next guy up?
I mean, I don't know. SGA maybe.
That's
SGA,
I don't even.
People and Edwards, I guess. Luka, Tatum. I don't really like Tatum like that though. But like those are like the guys. Those are like the younger guys.
Why you don't like Tatum?
SGA. It's just he's until this last year, he's always like kind of playoff Tatum was a different player. Like he kind of crumbled in the playoffs. He's a talented dude. He's Kobe was an idol. He has all the ability in the world, but he was kind of got soft. In the big moments, but like just whittled up. And Jaylen Brown, who was his running mate, like stepped up and was the guy that that would kind of carry the load. So, but this past year, Tatum balled out. And got himself a ring. So, I think maybe he's over that. Maybe he's over that hump. He is still a young guy.
Yeah. Let's move along, man. This is a Raiders show. We just got into the basketball real quick, man. It all started because LeBron was a flag, and then that just turned into a whole conversation. But man, Raiders Smoke says East during the MJ's era was a monster. LeBron had a cupcake in Eastern Conference year in.
Man, the East had the Knicks and the Pacers. Those are the only real tough teams in the East. Like the East wasn't no monster. Those are the only tough teams with the Knicks and the Pacers.
Hey, I think he's making an argument for Kobe. That's what I'm saying, because he was in the Western Conference. There's a lot of depth, a lot of good teams in the West. Yeah. But yeah, man. Hey, look, LeBron's a great player. He's played what is how many years he in? Like 20-something years.
20. Oh man. He came in 2003, I want to say. So 20.
Wild,
I think this is year 22. I think it's year 22 for him because this would have been his 21st All-Star game.
And he's
made the All-Star game every year except his rookie year, and he's 40. He's 40 years old.
That is wild, man. It's wild, man. And we'll see what they do this year, man. I know they made a big move trade deadline with Luka, so we'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, man, let's move it along, man. We got notable quotables, man. Severe, if you want to give the first notable quotable so I can line this up real quick.
Yeah, man, we got a few, man. It is heavy draft season, and one of the guys I've been talking about for quite some time, is Jackson Dart. It seems that the media and Raider fans are kind of getting hip to him a little bit more recently. He's been kind of a favorite pick of Raider fans recently. But Todd McShay, who has a pretty cool podcast, he was talking about Jackson Dart. And in a previous show, we talked about Tom Brady, and Tom Brady talked about his superpower. And one of the things we was talking about was his preparation and knowing what the defense was going to do before they did it. And Todd McShay, he lays out an example here of Jackson Dart doing something similar.
Anytime a quarterback makes a decision where I'm like, I wouldn't have made that decision, but it was the right decision, I get impressed.
Right.
Like I think it was one of the first throw, maybe the first throw of the game. He opted out of throwing a screen, and I think it was like no loss. He held on to the ball, whatever the final decision. The corner fell off of his first read, of where it was a zone coverage look that they disguised as man, and he dropped into the flat. It was like a slot corner or whatever it was. And his preparation, his tape preparation told him, don't make that throw. Whatever it was, the back turning, because the corner on the perimeter didn't bail yet, and he still turned down that throw. And had he made that throw, the flat defender, the slot guy, would have been right there. Probably wouldn't have picked it, but would have knocked it down.
Right.
Fascinating to me. He did that a couple times. So I put it in my notes, step ahead on his reads. Anytime
where are you taking him, though? You know what I mean? Where are you taking a Jackson Dart? Are you taking him pick number 6? I feel like that's a little too high.
That's too rich.
You know what I mean?
It depends. But, I mean, that's a question for that's a question maybe for later. Maybe what's real, what's not. We get into that a little bit. Maybe we get into that a little bit. But,
okay.
But I think he's going to be the third quarterback taken. And I think he's clearly going to be the third quarterback taken now. Now where do you take him? I think that's a real question. I've seen him mocked. Early second. I've seen him mocked late second. So it depends. It depends. Mel Kiper had us considering taking him at 6. I personally wouldn't do that. But there was a story, if you recall, the year we drafted Khalil Mack. Reggie McKenzie thought long and hard about taking Derek Carr at that pick. I think what was that the 7th? Was it 7th pick? Was Khalil Mack? No, it
No, he was like the fourth. He was the fourth pick.
Right? Fourth, yeah, fourth. So yeah, Reggie McKenzie thought about taking Derek Carr at that pick, right? And I think he ultimately opted to take Khalil Mack, but and he was fortunate enough to still.
He was the fifth pick. My bad. He was the fifth pick.
Fifth, okay.
Yeah.
So so he was fortunate enough to still land Derek Carr in the second round, but he thought about taking him right there. So could it be a similar scenario here where we opt to go with the best player available, and Jackson Dart is still available in the second round? This is a possibility.
Man, y'all talking about the Kobe LeBron thing is for sure guaranteed. Barbershop conversation starter for sure. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, man.
My personal preference is Kobe, but people trying to downplay LeBron's greatness is wild, bro. It's ridiculous.
To me, Kobe's career ended at the Achilles. That's
exactly.
when, you know what I mean. If we're being real, if you watched Kobe play and his career ended, and LeBron is still LeBron. I mean, I think he's past his prime, but the fact that he's still putting up like 25 plus, like his basically career averages, or just above it is crazy. But everybody's talking about it right now. But let's move it along, man. We're not done yet. We got more notable quotables. So we'll see how it shakes out with if you want to give the intro to this clip real quick.
Yeah, so there was a like I said, this is from the same show. I've been doing some deep dives on all these players, but McShay was talking about a very interesting comparison, and I wish I could have grabbed more, because the whole conversation is fascinating. When they talk about it, like, you got to hear the whole thing. But he made a very fascinating comparison between Jackson Dart and a quarterback that was just recently taken in this previous draft, taken pretty highly as well.
Here we go.
But I put in the tape of Drake right after, on purpose, right after studying more of Jackson Dart. It's very similar tape in terms of trying to be decisive, trying to keep things moving, progressing north, right? Efficient as a passer, right? Even though like the production numbers and the stats wouldn't say it, but like throws are there. The difference was Drake May, the ball popped off his hands a little bit more than it pops off of Jackson. Jackson's got a 2. We do
100%.
one out of 5. Drake was a 1 in terms of 1 being elite, top end, highest level, outstanding. 2 being, and we only do these for position specific traits, for critical traits. 2 being good, 3 being average, 4 being below average, 5 being marginal. Okay. So I think Jackson is a 2 in terms of his arm strength. But I put in the tape of Drake right after.
Man, that's pretty good. That's a pretty high praise, because Drake May end up going in top 5, right? In the last draft, right? So he went like number 3, I believe.
I think he was third. Yeah, I think he went 3. He was third quarterback taken. I think he went 3.
Patriots were, I think, picked number 3rd pick in the draft, not 4th, but. That being said, oh my God, McShay is blowing up he is blowing up the spot when it comes to Jackson Dart. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I'll take him at 6, man. It's that's gonna be a tough one for me. But his draft stock, it seems like it's getting bigger. But then we're gonna see what he runs to, his combine, everything. That whole process it's a whole long offseason. So. We'll see how it shakes out. But damn, for him to compare him to Drake May, and Drake May had a pretty good rookie year too as well. So, oh my God, man!
And then if you just listen to, and as I said, it's only so much that you can. I mean, you can clip. I probably could have grabbed a little bit more, but he's talking about his ability to run, his toughness as a runner. Talking about how in the Florida game, how he was just getting beat up. Helmet knocked off, and he just kept getting up. The same thing in the Georgia game. I think, his worst game people bring up is his Florida game. But they were just talking about even in that game, like he played well, and his receivers time and time again let him down. Guys are dropping passes, guys are running the wrong routes. Like it was a bad, like they essentially gave him, didn't give him any help. And then he's like he still had some lapses in his decision making, late in that game when he was pressing. But he's like, man, the beating he took in that game, for him to just keep getting up and keep fighting through it, he's like he's one of the toughest guys in his class. So I mean, it was high praise. So if you haven't watched that interview yet, Todd McShay, and they talk about Shador, and they talk about Shador.
That's what I was going to ask.
They talk about Shador too. They talk about Shador too. Kind of compare and contrast them. And they're like, hey, Jackson Dart, man, maybe he's passing up Shador. That's their feelings. It's like maybe passing up Shador. So. It was a very interesting conversation, though. Very interesting conversation.
Damn. So what were like the good, like what are the good things? It's just the same things that we've been hearing about Shador. Shador can come out. He can contribute early, and he's accurate. Yeah. Same stuff that we've been hearing.
Accurate, good processor, that kind of stuff.
Man, who? I mean, when you do you see Drake May when you watch Jackson Dart?
I can see what they mean
outside of the complexion.
Exactly right. That's Drake May's QB1 based on his that's Drake May's QB1. Drake May's like, hey, my top 5 QBs in this class is Jackson Dart, Tyler Suck, Curtis Rourke, Kyle McCord, and Hennigan.
Yeah.
Like that's. But I can see what he means. I can see what he means. I can see what I was talking about. No, I think Drake May is bigger. I think he has more tools. But like in terms of their athleticism, like when their ability to scramble, like they're not really super athletic, not really like shifty guys, but they can move and and they're tough and physical when they run. I can see what he's talking about.
So Drake May was like 6'4", 6'5". I think Dart is like what 6'2", 6'3".
Dart is like 6'2". Yeah.
6'2".
He's 6'2", 225. So he's 6'2". He's pretty. He ain't no small dude. He's like 6'2", 225.
Okay. Yeah, man, I can't. I mean, Lakeshore Raider says big reach for the Dart at 6. I'm sorry, bro. Her is not him. I'm trading up for Sanders all day. Okay.
I'm not trading up for Sanders. Like, and you have to make a decision. If he falls at 6, you make a decision. Like, do you want him? What's the value there? You probably take him, but I'm not giving up anything to move up to get Shador Sanders.
Moser Raider has a take. He says if we don't take him at 6, he will not be there in a second. See, that's a very good chance. Hey, if the Raiders do feel like that, do you think they trade down? You know what I mean? If they have eyes on maybe taking Dart later in the draft, or they feel like maybe it's a little too high to pick him at 6, maybe trade down. But that's crazy to do that for a quarterback, though. You don't really see like that. It's crazy to trade down to take a quarterback. Usually you trade up to get your quarterback. So I don't know if they would do that.
So it depends on how much higher their rating is on Jackson Dart than, let's say, Tyler Shough or Kyle McCord, who people are falling in love with recently in the draft process, right? Like, there are some people that might say Tyler Shough is better than Jackson Dart. There are some people that might say Kyle McCord, who was like, I think he only played 4 years, so he's not a 5th-year guy. I think Jackson Dart is only a 4-year guy too, though. But like, hey, they're both around 22 years old, so some people might say, hey, Kyle McCord, we project him to be better than Jackson Dart in the future. So, hey, let's just grab the best player available now, Tyler Shough or Kyle McCord. They'll probably be available in the 2nd round. They may even be available in the 3rd round. We can grab one of those guys in those rounds and still get these, these premier players in these first 2 rounds.
Man, shout out to East Coast Gridiron, man. He says he throws 70% on 9 routes, 30% on 5 routes. For those that don't know, that's go routes and outside curls. And he continues on and says that I see Jameis Winston with dart. Ugh. I don't know about that.
But the thing is, like, the thing about Jackson Dart is you look at his big-time throw, he had the highest big-time throw rate. I think he had the highest completion percentage on big-time throws as well. I think he was one of the best against the blitz. Pretty low turnover rate and turnover-worthy plays as well. Like Kyle McCord had way more turnover-worthy plays than Jackson Dart. And I believe Tyler Shook had more turnover-worthy plays than Jackson Dart as well. So, like we talk, we say these things, but like that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what. And you look at some of the advanced analytics. The advanced analytics says he put up better passing numbers than just about anybody in the country. So like that's what the advanced analytics say. That's not me. That's not Todd McShay. That's not Mel Kiper. That's what the numbers say. And you know what Jay-Z said about numbers.
Hey, Jameis Winston is a free agent too at QB.
Hey.
So if you're connecting the dots, if you're gonna get a guy that's compared to him, might as well just. That was fine. But that being said, hey, we're not done yet. We got more flags on the play, and this one is man. Shout out to Gruden, man. I've been catching up on Gruden and what he's doing over there, creating content, man. He got a YouTube channel, and man, it is. Hey, I recommend it, man. If you're a Raider fan, football fan, just everything. It checks all the boxes. Go ahead and head over and watch Gruden, what he's doing over there, man. He's doing good stuff. And he recently had Max Crosby in talking about just various topics and a guy that we all want to come back to the Raiders, man. Kuntz comes up, and I think we all know what's going to be said about him.
Wilkins is hurt, Kuntz is hurt. I want an update on the front. How is the health and the mindset of not only you but these other guys?
Yeah, I think all of us to an extent. Obviously me and Malcolm, like guys you drafted. Me and Malcolm are in there every day, rehabbing, lifting, getting to it. Christian's the same way.
Is Malcolm on the same plate that you're on? Because he really came on 2 years ago.
He did, and he was having unbelievable offseason, great camp, and we go on the indoor and just took a wrong step, blew his knee out right before the season. It shook up everybody. Like we were emotional about it because Malcolm, he's a great kid, and he's just matured and grown into this guy that when he was a puppy, like you didn't know what he was going to be, but you could see the traits and the talents, and everyone knows he's a great kid, but he just matured so much. So seeing that happen to him, I know was extremely tough for all of us, but obviously him. But he's motivated. He'll be back. I have zero doubt.
Hey man, hopefully the Raiders can get him back. I just hope that it's a favorable deal for the Raiders because obviously he's come back from injury. You never know. Sometimes that ACL takes longer to recover, so it's like you sign him to a 1-year deal and then he's not all the way back there. But man, look, we heard all the good things, man. But like Max is putting his name on it. He's like, it's official. Like this dude is Max.
He said no doubt in his mind he'll be a great player in this league for a long time. He said there's no doubt in his mind. And we hear how Max talks. Like Max, he was talking about how, hey, he invites dudes to work out with him, and those dudes don't last, and they none of them willing to put in the type of work that's necessary. But when he talked about Kuntz, he was like, he's like, who's on your? Is it Gruden asked him straight up, is Kuntz on your level? He was like, man, yes. So if somebody gonna pay Kuntz, if it's not us, it's gonna be somebody.
Yeah, because I keep hearing his name, and then PFF has him as like one of the top free agents at pass rusher. I mean, it's not a really, like I said, we talked about this before. Like the market for like pass rushers right now is like there's a lot of old guys, but he's that guy that's 25 years old, never had really a major injury until last season. So team might bet on him. There's a possible chance that happens, just based off what's available, but. I hope that he bets on himself. He comes back to a familiar place, familiar teammates. Patrick Graham, a coach that believes in him, a system that he's played in, bets on himself, and then gets paid next offseason. So I think that's what possibly could happen. I mean, But we seen what that contract could possibly look like. I think when we looked at Spot Track, $20 million is his value.
Yeah.
I mean, are you giving him a 1-year $20 million deal? Is that what we're doing?
I'm not doing that. I'll do like three for 15, 3 for 16. You know, do something with the guarantees.
Oh,
maybe
you trying to get the discount? You trying to get the
try to front load it. You front load it. You know, so hey, you front load it. You know, maybe you give them 20, or you play around with the guarantees in the first few years, and then that way the back part of the contract. If this doesn't work out, or if he re-injures himself, or he's not what you thought he would be, you kind of wipe your hands clean of the contract. No harm, no foul.
Daniel Kim says, shout out to him, man. He says Max knows Tyree isn't it. His eyes and Phil Slay tell him as much. Yeah, Max is just he's never. And when his name comes up, you can tell like Max is just trying to be nice. Like he doesn't want to say anything like critical of him and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Not everybody's gonna be a superstar, man. So it's all good, man. It just sucks that he was picked number 7 overall. Exactly. But it is what it is. M Easy says I would sign Hassan Reddick instead of Kuntz. But what did Hassan Reddick do this year?
Sit out most of the time for more money.
Yeah, for more money.
And cost himself a ring.
Yeah, and on top of that too, like I think it was a situation where they were supposed to figure out the contract later, and he was supposed to show up, but he changed his mind and held out, and then that whole situation went downhill. You know what I mean? So it's just like
he got traded to the Jets,
and I don't know if you want to add that to the
held out.
Yeah,
he traded to the Jets and held out. So yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to add that to the locker room, man. Just not mess up. Yeah,
and he's 30. He's 30, close to 30.
Yeah,
30 or close to it.
Yeah, just get Kuntz in the building, man. Just get Kuntz in the building, and like it just makes sense for Kuntz to come back. I just don't see him going somewhere else. I mean, unless some team gives him like 5 years, $100 million, like, which I don't see happening, but who knows? We'll see. Nick Bolton is linebacker from Kansas City. Would you consider him? He's a free agent.
I consider him, but I doubt if he's going anywhere. Like that's like a guy like him. I wouldn't. I don't even look at
because Devon Diablo's a free agent. Spillane's a free agent. Yeah. So possibly we might have different linebackers next season.
Possibly, yeah.
The last linebacker we got, your favorite linebacker on the team is, was picked in the 5th round last year. Who knows what this front office and this regime thinks of him.
Yeah.
I think, Nick Bolton could be an option for sure.
Yeah, he could be an option. Only thing is to get him away from KC, I'm not willing to overpay. Like if it's Trey Smith, I'm willing to overpay Trey Smith to bring Trey Smith over here. I'm not willing to overpay Nick Bolton to come here.
East Coast makes a great point. He says Hassan is really overrated. I broke him down last year. Most of his sacks are due to pressure rate from others. Half of his sacks are 0.5 sacks added up. Man, that's crazy. And that's a good point too, because he's coming from a team, the Philadelphia Eagles, is the last time we seen him play. I think he ended up playing this year or last season, but before that, he played with the Philadelphia Eagles. Like they got Pro Bowlers, all pro players like at every other position on that D line. So it's like, yeah, man, I don't want to pay Hassan. That's just, come on, man. Let's and plus, hey, this is a good draft. If we wanted to get a pass rusher, you know what I mean? We don't got to really go. Exactly. And I'm sure Hassan's going to want a big contract. It's like, even though the Raiders could afford it, I don't think they should do it. I agree. Bring back Chase Young. Yeah, we talked about that. I think that should happen. But, we had Marcus last week on Around the Shield, and he says Chase Young might get a contract. He might get paid.
I can see that.
He did finish the season with like 5 sacks. There could be a team that's willing to pay him. I mean, look, Pete Carroll's not in the building. Champ Kelly's not in the building. So there's no connections to outside of Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham is the only guy like you could say for the most
Robbie
part.
Leonard. Yeah.
And there's probably some other people in the building too as well. But I'm just saying, Robbie Leonard, too. Yeah, let's add him in there. You could say that maybe can vouch for Chase Young, but it's going to be interesting to see how this pass rusher market goes in the free agency.
Yeah, it's just the tape. I mean, I say they just got to put on the tape. They ain't got to vouch. I don't think like you just look at the tape. What he put on, what he put on film. The eye in the sky don't lie. He played well. Played better than played better than Tyree. That's for damn sure. So I think if we can bring him back, we should bring him back to a reasonable deal, right? Give him a raise, but bring him back on a reasonable deal.
Steve says, I'm telling y'all, we sign Kuntz and Chase Young and draft Hosea Stewart. The closer we get to the draft, he'll be a name. Okay.
Yeah. He was telling me, I got to check him out. Steve, I just saw it earlier. He's asking me to check him. He went to Michigan. I haven't had a chance to watch him yet. So Steve was comparing him to Kuntz. So
okay.
I got to check him out.
Okay, but we not done, man. We got more notable quotables, man. I told you it's gonna be a interesting show today, man. And we'll stick with Jon Gruden, man, and what he's doing over there. And this is an interesting conversation. And we go ahead and play this clip, man.
Well, I've been scratching, just so you know. I'm working behind the scenes. I'm digging. I'll be back.
I know you will.
I'll be back.
I have zero doubt in my mind.
So I guess we can segue into what's real, what's not, because I think it's a perfect segue, right?
Yes.
So we just heard Jon Gruden talk about him coming back. He's interviewing his former players, we didn't play the clip, but then he also interviewed Josh Jacobs. He interviewed, obviously, Max Crosby. He had
Vontaze Burfict.
Vontaze Burfict in for, his Fired Football Coaches Association, which is pretty funny that he does, but it's definitely fire. Definitely check it out. But it has me thinking, man, and I guess it's a perfect what's real, what's not. So y'all let me know in the chat, man, if this is real or it's not. This is where I say a statement. Y'all just react to it if it's real or not. There's a better than 50% chance that Jon Gruden will return to work for the Raiders at some point. There's a better than 50% chance that Jon Gruden will return to work for the Raiders at some point. Is that real or is it not? See, man. I think, in my opinion, I think he's going to return to coaching. I don't think he's going to be with the Raiders. I think he's going to. I see that he has a relationship with his former players. Obviously, it has me thinking a little bit about. I don't think he's going to come back to the Raiders just based off what happened in the past and how that shit. And it seems like it feels like Mark Davis, like even that whole situation, how it went down. I know he brought it up in a recent, like, not presser, but when he was talking to reporters, how league pretty much, messed up the whole situation with him and Jon Gruden that year. I think that at some point he does come in, and then maybe he comes in as maybe an offensive coordinator, maybe a head coach. But bro, man, there's no doubt in my mind, man. The dude Gruden, he's made to be a head coach. I think at some point he's gonna come back, and I think I'm gonna say it's not real. Say it's not real, just because you said Raiders. But even though I do think he's gonna come back, coach, I just don't think it's gonna be with the Raiders. So it's not real.
And say coach. I said work for the Raiders.
Oh, man.
That's a very important caveat. Very important caveat. And
okay.
And with Mark Davis, we know how Mark Davis feels about Jon Gruden.
Okay.
I think it is real that is a greater 50% chance that Jon Gruden will come back to work for the Raiders at some point.
Okay.
Will it be as a coach? I don't think it will be as a head coach. But I think at some point he will return to work for the Raiders in some capacity. I do believe that.
And what would that be? What would that look like?
I don't know. Was it something in the front office? Maybe Raiders media. I think he will eventually come back to work for the Raiders in some capacity. I don't know what it'll be, but I think he'll return to the Raiders at some point.
Nah,
Mark Davis,
man.
that's a Mark Davis thing. So only thing that will stop it is Tom Brady. It would take Tom Brady to stop it.
Gruden's brand transcends the Raiders, meaning that like it's like kind of like a John Madden. Like he's meant for, like obviously, the Raiders were like just like was that's where he started. Just same thing with John Madden, same thing with Gruden. But like, man, everybody connects to John Gruden, especially any football fans in here.
Yeah,
it just when you watch him, like definitely. I'm telling y'all, check out his YouTube channel. Man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. It's pretty dope what he's doing over there, man. And he's super passionate, knowledgeable about the game. And what's so good about his interviews, it's like how he's able to take out like certain things that you wouldn't get from a regular interview. He'll get the players to show the technique. He'll get the players to talk about certain things that they see in film, and he's over there breaking it down and just the terminology he talks about. It's perfect. Definitely check it out. But I think, in my opinion, he's gonna come back to coach, man. You could tell he wants to come back to coach. He's not.
He wants it back.
Yeah, he wants it. If it's either coach or nothing, like he's coach or just keep doing what he's doing as far as building his media, because I can see that growing.
I can see him. Like I said, I can see him doing if he feels he doesn't get a chance in the league, and him wanting to be around the game in a more, because coaches, once you're a coach, you love to coach, and so he can try to supplement that all he wants with like these interviews and stuff. But I think that it's hard to scratch that itch once you have it. So if he wants to get back involved, other organizations may be scared to bring him on. And I don't think Mark Davis will have any apprehensions whatsoever about bringing John Gruden back in some capacity.
Some people saying it's real. Some people saying it's not real. Not real. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's tough, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna come. I don't think it, because if it's not gonna be a coach, I don't know if Gruden wants to be like not be on the sideline. You could tell he's made to be a coach, man. If it ain't gonna be with the Raiders as a coach, then it's gonna be somewhere else, and I think it's gonna be somewhere else. I don't think it's gonna be I just can't see it like in the front office. He doesn't seem like that's. He got to be in the media or he got to be a coach. I don't see no middle ground with him. Yeah. But
when I say front office, I mean like a senior advisor type dude, where he can still be like involved on the field, but he's also a guy like, hey, you know what, I like this guy, like this guy. Let me get involved with this, this stuff. It's just a guy that's gonna be involved. I think he just wants to be involved with the game, and other places may not allow him to do so.
Right, man. But a lot of people, man, they're mixed. Some people say no way. Some people say he's gonna be back, just not with the Raiders.
Yeah.
M85 says he'll never return to the league as a head coach. Maybe not. Maybe as an offense coordinator. Maybe as an OC. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe he's a head coach. He's a head coach. He don't even seem like he would be an offensive coordinator. He would overshadow whoever the head coach, especially today's head coaches. Like they're all they don't have like a strong personality. Like, well, I won't say every head coach, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, John Gruden has too much personality. He has too much personality.
Yeah, he's too strong. But as a coach, the best days Gruden is elite as a media personality, but as a coach, his best days are past him. Oh man, hey, look, Raider Alex has spoken.
Yeah, hey.
But let's go to the next what's real, what's not. The next what's real, what's not. And if you want to go ahead and take this one, Severe.
Yes, sir. So what's real, what's not? Let me get to it.
And this kind of goes back to what we've been talking on the Notable Quotables. as far as Dart.
Yes. So, what, real or not, Jackson Dart in round 2 is better value than Shedeur Sanders at 6. Jackson Dart in round 2 is better value than Shedeur Sanders at 6.
Damn, I'm gonna say that's real. That's more real because I feel like there's better players at other positions than that's gonna be on the board. But damn, how good is Jackson Dart really though? You know, that's the question.
How good is anybody really? That's always the question. How good is anybody really?
Oh my God, man. Yeah. It's the thing with Shedeur is just his ceiling as a player. Like, I'm like, man, you taking up number 6, and then there's gonna be guys on the board. There's gonna be the Will Johnsons out there. There's gonna be obviously the Mason Grahams that we talked about. I don't think he's gonna be there, but Abdul Carter. You know what I mean? There's other players at different positions. You mentioned T-Mac. Even though I don't want to go receiver, I know this is probably an unpopular opinion, and we do need a number 1 receiver, but I feel like we can do without one in this draft. I feel like we can go other places where there's, whether the trenches. I'm good with trenches and corner. If it's not going to be quarterback, trenches and corner. But that being said, I'm going to say, and you're saying that it's better value in the second with damn, man. I don't know if I even want to take Jackson Dart. I'm gonna say it's real. I'm gonna say it's real.
I'm gonna say it's real as well. I mean, he's he's the basically almost consensus third best quarterback in this draft. He's passed up guys that were ahead of him. He's passed up Quinn Ewers, who at one point some people thought who was the first or second best QB in his class. He's passed up Dylan Gabriel. He's passed up all these guys on the field and what he was able to do at the Senior Bowl. I think he's a better athlete than some of these guys that are behind him. Better arm than a lot of these guys behind him. I think he showed his toughness. He's tougher. Outside of Shedeur, I think Shedeur is probably the toughest QB in his class. I think Jackson Dart is right there in terms of toughness. So yeah, I mean, if you have an opportunity, I would rather have Will Johnson and the potential of Jackson Dart than Shedeur and whatever corner you'll get in round 2, or Mason Graham and Jackson Dart, or T-Mac and Jackson Dart. I'd rather have that combination than Shedeur and those other people's counterparts.
Alex says real. Let's see. All IG says real. A lot of people saying it's real. So I'm surprised, man. Some people. There's been a lot of Raider Nation wants Shedeur Sanders, and a lot, people in the chat, man, they're letting us know right now that it's better valued. Okay, we got some football fans in here, man. East Coast, man. I know he's gonna come in with haymakers. They're both third round QBs in my eyes. So yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, Dante. He has his guys. He has his guys. So he does his own rankings. So he marches to the beat of a different drummer with his rankings. He's been right with some guys. He has some misses too, but that's everybody.
Yeah, man. And hey, definitely check out Around the Shield, man. We had ECG. We had Dante coming in, and we're gonna have him on again too, man, and break down some of these prospects moving forward, man, before the draft. So it's going to be a big offseason for the Raiders. Hopefully we can have him on. But, yeah, man, he knows his stuff, man, so I wouldn't doubt him. But, man, he's calling Shedeur. I don't think Shedeur is not going to drop to the second. I think Shedeur, there's no way. But I think he's saying that he feels like they're third round QBs.
He grades them out as third round guys. He grades them
yeah.
as third round.
I don't think he's saying that they're necessarily going to go in the third round. Especially the way the quarterback position works. Let's see this. Man, there's people going like, oh man, let's see. You see your rankings. I think we had you. Curtis Ward, you're still your number one guy. Okay, Tyler. Dylan Gabriel.
Tyler Shutt, yeah.
Oh, you got Dylan 3? Ooh.
Yeah, see, that's why I can't I can't put somebody that's 5'10" with cleats on. Like, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. And just remind you, Dante, we talked about this on the show, so I did my research. Everybody, and Dante was one of them. So stay for this, because everybody want to talk crap about Cam for not playing the second half of that bowl game, and how are you going to do that? That shows your character. I brought up one of the issues I had with Dylan Gabriel was that he reneged on his commitment to UCLA. And he did renege on his commitment to UCLA. At the 11th hour, he had given his word, had enrolled in classes. Only thing he had to do was go down there and start his classes. And he was going to be an official member of the UCLA Bruins and their starting quarterback. And the morning he was supposed to go to his classes, he reneged on his commitment. So if we have issues with Cam Ward not playing the second half of a meaningless bowl game to protect his draft stock, then we should definitely have issues with Dylan Gabriel reneging on a commitment that he made to a school at the 11th hour, essentially leaving them hanging. I have an issue with that. And so we can't call that. We can't. That has to go both ways. So hey, and I understand these kids are free to. Hey, if coaches are free to leave schools whenever they want to take better offers, kids should be free to leave schools whenever they want to for better offers as well. But if we're criticizing Cam Ward for not playing the second half of that bowl game, then we need to criticize Dylan Gabriel for reneging on his commitment at the very last second, with leaving the team with virtually no other options.
Damn, Severe has spoken. But I don't know, man. Dylan Gabriel number 3, that's tough. But this is how you feel the quarterback. Well, this is how you feel the quarterback room should be. I mean, not the quarterback room, but the draft rankings for you would be at quarterback. Damn, you don't even have Ward in this.
You don't have Ward, Shador, or
Shador doesn't even exist in this list right here. It's gone.
Yeah, he said they third round picks. He said they the third round. So they somewhere back in the third round. They kicking it. Shador, Dart, and Cam Ward kicking it. Well, maybe I think he has Cam Ward a little bit higher than the other two, if I recall correctly. So maybe Cam Ward is hanging out in round 2.
It's all good, man. Hey, man, we're going to have you on soon. Appreciate you coming through. Let me think. Man, the chat is going crazy. Yeah, man. Hey, man. I think we got Raider Smoke with a super chat, man. My guy, man, always supporting, man. Appreciate you. He said, with the 6 picks in the NFL draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select, who would you say we draft if we had to pick right now? I guess I'm gonna just stick to what I said earlier, man. If we don't get a quarterback, I think it's Shador. If Shador's on the board, I could see Shador being number 6. But if it's not quarterback, I want Mason Graham if he's on the board. Those are the two ones that I think.
Yeah. It's Will Johnson or Tedder for me. I don't think Mason Graham's going to be there. That's why I say if Mason Graham is there.
Yeah, a lot of people have him going to like the Jaguars.
Yeah, if Mason Graham is there, he's a strong consideration. But then you got to, like kind of where do you rank him? And do you rank him above Will Johnson as a prospect? Who do we have on the team? Is Adam Butler, as in terms of a defensive tackle, even though Mason Graham is a bigger body, but can we get by with Wilkins and Adam Butler? And have Will Johnson as an upgrade over Jack Jones. You feel me? Like, hey, Is that better, or do you put Mason Graham down there and then roll with Jack Jones? Like, so those are factors. And then Teteroa, the quarterback issue is there though. Like, do you want to draft a wide receiver that high when you don't even have a quarterback? That comes into play as well. So I'm probably leaning toward Will Johnson, but no, Will Johnson, T-Mac, or Mason Graham. I'll be good with all of those.
Yeah, it makes sense. Or, hey, we haven't even talked about it too, is and we got to start doing some of these mock drafts. We're going to probably start, within, we'll start soon. It's still kind of early, but what I was thinking that we haven't even talked about is trading down. That's a possibility too. They can possibly trade down. And someone in the chat earlier brought it up too. As a way to maybe get some more picks. Hey, if we don't get if let's say Shador and Cam Moore get taken up, they get picked. Maybe the Raiders obviously looking at their roster, feeling like, hey, you know what, there's a lot of spots that we need to upgrade. We need to get more picks, more guys in the top 100. That could be a possibility. But the only thing is, like, the only way the Raiders can trade down and get like really good value is if there's a quarterback on the board, which is like
it has to be a blue chip prospect or a team or a player a team thinks is a blue chip prospect. Because remember, the Arizona Cardinals traded up for Paris Johnson. But
what do they get, or what did the other team get in return? I don't know if we remember that.
I don't remember. It's usually less value. If it's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
But you can still get, you can still get something. Like, it's, hey, if you plan on, if you think the guy you want is gonna be still there at the pick you trade back for, that's kind of a win-win situation for you.
I mean, what would you want to get? Like, if you're, let's say Dallas trades up. This could be possibly crazy, but let's say Dallas trades up, right, to number 6, and they pick Austin Genty. You know what I mean? Like that, something like that, right? Something crazy like that. What would that compensation look like? Will we actually get a second round pick from 11 to 6?
I think we get a second.
We got to, right? This year's second, though.
This year's second, maybe not.
Ernest, but I'm with you, man. I'm running with your idea. I'm with you.
11 to 6, yeah. From 11, maybe. I gotta look at. They have the trade value chart, so we have to look at that. But 11 to 6 with no quarterback on the board. See, depends on who else is on the board too. Can we get a second this year? I think maybe we can get a second this year. Maybe they're first. Nah, they ain't doing that though. They're first and they're second this year.
No.
Nah, bro.
I don't look. If Will Johnson, Mason Graham are on the board, which are like the blue chip players that, like, I'm sure a team would want to trade up and get,
taking them.
Yeah, they're taking them. And then if Shador is up there, the Raiders are taking them. You know what I mean?
The Raiders are taking them.
The Raiders are for sure. What? He's for sure. The Raiders. If Shador is on the board, there's no way the Raiders are not going to take him. Kevin Lurker, I'm with you 100%. If Shador is there at 6, he's a Raider. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's a Raider. Because it's one of those situations you can't, like, you'd have to think he's going to be a bust. Like, if the Raiders trade, if Shador is there and the Raiders trade back, that means they think, like, yeah, this guy's going to be a bum.
But, hey, we've been surprised, though. Because you know how, like, sometimes we've gone to the draft, like, oh, yeah, these are – because the way we value certain players, and we have, like, we look at the big board and we feel like, oh, this player's for sure going to get drafted. There's always going to be a few players that drop for whatever reason. Yeah. It could be off field, something comes up on, as a red flag on our medicals, whatever the case may be, or people overvalued a certain player than what the league views them. We don't know. Maybe Shador drops. Who knows? Right now, I don't think it's going to happen. Right now, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's going to happen with some player. I mean, who's that going to be? We don't know. But
I mean, I think according to most people have Cam Ward as QB1 now, right? And a few months ago that was flipped. You know, he was my QB1 for a while, but a lot of people, it was like a debate, and I think a lot of people were leaning more towards Shador. I think that has completely flipped now. I think a lot of people, like more people now, consider Cam Ward as QB1. So it could change. Things can change definitely.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Hey, man, it's been a great show. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in at this point, clock out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, hey, Severe, man, let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff, man.
And you guys know what it is. This Severe Raider here on YouTube, IG, Snapchat, TikTok, X, all that good stuff. Every Tuesday afternoon, the Raider War Room, my guy Chris from Protect the Shield and 805 Raider. Every Tuesday evening, you know what it is, the 50-50 show, the world famous 50-50 show. And then Friday nights, we coming at you guys with Around the Shield. Got the Raider War Room on Sundays too. Actually, this Sunday, Myra G put in the chat earlier, but headed up to the Commitment to Excellence dinner. I think is on Saturday. I'm honoring Mac, so a lot of Raider people gonna be out there. So probably head out there this weekend, probably either Saturday night or Sunday morning. Link up with a few people from the chat, and link up with Leo, Chris, and a few other people, man. So if you guys are in the Vegas area, you want to holler at your boy, holler at us. We'll be at Barcode. There's a flyer on IG. Holler at your boy. And I don't know, last time I checked, I was like 11 away from 1,000. So, go ahead and get your boy that G tonight. That'd be much appreciated. So if y'all haven't subscribed already, subscribe to your boy.
Yeah, hey, how much are you away from? Like how many?
I think I was 11, but when the show started, I probably lost some subscribers because I don't because I was talking bad about Jordan. It's like like Jordan, get him out of here.
Hey man, so let's get Severe to 1,000, man. We got enough people in this room, man. If you haven't subscribed to the Severe Raider, go over and head over to his channel and just hit that subscribe, man. Let him get to that 1,000, man. That's a big number. So make sure to go ahead and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, man. I'm sure you're gonna get it, like hopefully any minute now, man. So but we appreciate the support. We're gonna be back here later this week, man. Around the Shield. We drop it every Fridays unless we do a live show sometimes on Thursday. But this week we'll be dropping every Friday, man. We appreciate everybody coming to the chat. Y'all crazy, man. Man, shout out to Real Talk, man. I think he's in the building. 10 more. Okay,
all eyes on G says says 3. All eyes on G says I'm 3 away.
Oh, three more. Hey man, 3 more, man. Hey, come on, man. Go over there, man. Just go over there, man. If y'all are watching this on my channel, head over there, man. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and go over to Severe Raiders channel and get him to 1,000. He's 3 away from 1K, man. It's a big number. He's been doing this, man, grinding, putting in a lot of work, man. Go ahead and support. Yeah, All Eyes IG. Post the link, man. I think All Eyes IG, he went ahead and posted the link, man. He's 3 away, man. Yeah, man. One more. Mark said one wait, 999. Let's get this man to 1,000.
Oh, I'm there.
Hey,
I just refreshed it. Hey. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate it.
Hey man, salute, man.
Appreciate it.
Hey man, appreciate the support, man. Raider Nation already know how to support, man. We appreciate everybody coming through, supporting the show. We got my man to 1K, man. That's a big time number, man. Man, how you feeling, man?
Oh man, I remember when I had 5 subscribers. so man, it does come a long way, man. Appreciate it, everybody. I tell people all the time. I was fortunate enough to, I came in and people showed me love. I came in, Big Mike showed me love. You showed me love. Like people had way bigger channels than me. People who I had no business collaborating with. Found it in their hearts to reach out to your boy and lend their audience to me, man. So I can't thank you guys enough. 805, Chris as well. all the TRS, all the guys that hopped on with us, whether that be, Mo, Dante, Marcus, of course, a few times, all those guys. And I appreciate all you guys.
Oh man, Reese Rock said he just unsubscribed, man. Hey, you a hater, man.
Oh man,
you a hater.
That's why we ain't getting Shador.
Nah, everybody's sending their congratulations, man. Hey, man, appreciate everybody supporting the show, supporting Severe, man, and yeah, man. Hey, much success to you, man. You're gonna keep going. And look, we're gonna be back here later this week, man. Hey, Real Talk says, real talk, man. I wish I could be with y'all. He says, time to celebrate in Vegas this weekend, man. So make sure, if y'all in Vegas, man, make sure to come kick it with Severe and Real Talk and all the boys out that's gonna be out there. Where'd y'all say? Where was it gonna be again? Where's the location?
A Barcode Burger and Barcode Burger starting at 1 p.m. So we're gonna be out there 1 p.m. 1 p.m. until, man. So first come, first serve. I think it's like 40-50 capacity in there for the space we're gonna be in. So first come, first serve. But of course, if y'all just show up, we're gonna come out and mingle with everybody, do a meet and greet.
Oh man, Dante, man, this is how you feel. Unshake the bell, left you negative. Damn, man, that's cold, man. Dirty, man. Hey, man. Hey, look, man. Hey, like I said, we appreciate the support. Appreciate everybody coming through. Any last thoughts, man, before we head out?
Yes, sir. Hey, man. The NFL Combine is coming. I think it starts the 27th. So. A lot of, we could see a lot of movement on a lot of these players, especially edge rushers. We saw that year, everybody thought Aiden Hutchinson was going to be the number one pick. Trevon Walker shot up draft boards, so, it happens. It happens. So underwear Olympics are upon us. And then right after that is free agency, man. So.
No, it's free. Is it the Combine before free agency?
Yep. Combine's the 27th.
Oh, damn. Man, I thought that was free agency. Okay. Man, the off season is upon us, man. Hey, man. We gonna have a lot to talk about, man. Bro, we appreciate everybody coming through, man. Hey, man, till next time. Peace.
Appreciate everybody, man.
Just win, baby.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.